For 5 episodes, I've given you pieces: menopause, hormones, metabolism, fat loss, peptides. Today, I give you the whole shebang. One blueprint, 6 pillars. Everything in the right order, because that's the mistake most women are sold. A supplement here, a diet there, a hormone maybe, a peptide protocol, a new biohack, a new promise, and no architecture, no system. Today, we're going to build that system, because when these pieces work together, everything changes. And when they fight each other, nothing works very well. So let's build this properly. Let's get to it. As a former minister of health, I spent years looking at health through the lens of an entire population. But the women I worked with taught me something policy never could. Science only matters when it becomes a plan someone can actually follow on a Tuesday morning. Not a perfect day, not a retreat, not a New Year's resolution, a normal Tuesday. So this isn't a lecture. What we're building here is a plan, and that matters. 6 pillars: hormones, protein, training, sleep, supplements, mindset. And we're taking them in that order because that's their order of impact. Get the first pillars right, and the later ones become easier. Ignore the first pillars, and nothing else compensates. So let's begin. Pillar number 1, hormones. We start here because hormones sit upstream of almost anything: sleep, mood, energy, body composition, bone health, brain function, heart health. As estrogen and progesterone decline through perimenopause and menopause, the effects ripple everywhere. This isn't simply aging, it's biological transition. And it deserves to be treated that way. Now, we need to talk about the study that scared 2 generations of women, the Women's Health Initiative in 2002. That study reported increased risk associated with hormone therapy. And overnight, doctors stopped prescribing it, women stopped taking it, fear replaced nuance. But here's what actually happened. The study examined specific forms of hormones, including synthetic progestins and oral estrogens. The average participant was well past menopause. Many were in their 60s. Many already had significant risk factors. That is not the same patient as a healthy woman in her late 40s, early 50s, beginning her menopause transition. Those are different questions, different starting points, different risk profiles. Yet, for years, medicine treated them as the same, and millions of women paid the price. So, today we understand something called the timing window. The idea that beginning hormone therapy earlier in the transition may have a very direct risk-benefit profile than starting much later. Same hormones, different timing, different biology. That's the nuance that got lost. In your 40s and 60s, you need to be starting. We're not talking about one hormone. We're talking about 3. Estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, yes. And also, we cannot forget thyroid. We need to look at thyroid profiles, okay? Estrogen gets most of the attention. Progesterone often determines sleep quality, mood stability, and uterine protection. And testosterone, the forgotten hormone, women make testosterone too. And when it declines, libido, energy, confidence, muscle often decline with it. A clinician who only discusses estrogen is missing a large part of the picture. So pillar 1 is simple. Find a clinician who evaluates all 3 hormones, treats you as an individual, and also looks at your thyroid panels and bases decisions on today's science, not fear from 20 years ago. Second pillar, protein and muscle. If there is one thing I wish every woman over 40 understood, it's this: muscle is longevity, not appearance, not vanity, longevity. Muscle controls metabolism, supports bone health, protects against frailty, improves insulin sensitivity, and helps preserve independence later in life. Most women don't lose independence because they gain fat. They lose independence because they lose muscle. That's the real threat. And yet, most women eat far too little protein. The old recommendations were designed to prevent deficiency, not preserve muscle. They were the minimum to survive, not optimum levels. We're looking at optimum levels. So I need you to be in the range of 2 grams of protein per day per kilogram of body weight. So go ahead, calculate it. Whatever your weight is times 2. That's what you need to be taking in. Okay, the fitness world obsessed over timing, right? And internet, of course, the famous anabolic window, drink your shake immediately, eat within 30 minutes, don't miss the window. In reality, total protein matters far more. And how you distribute it throughout the day matters more. The goal is not one giant protein dinner. The goal is multiple protein-rich meals every day, consistently. Because as we age, our muscles become less responsive. Researchers call this anabolic resistance. Your body needs a stronger signal to maintain muscle, which means more protein, not less. So build every meal around protein, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and start. The first thing in your mouth needs to be protein, not carbs. Then let everything else follow. Protein provides the building blocks. Training provides the signal. And the signal that matters most is, you guessed it, resistance training. Let me address a myth immediately. Lifting weights will not make most women bulky. Oh my God, I hear this so much. Forget about it. It's not going to happen. What it will do is preserve muscle, strengthen bones, improve metabolism, improve insulin sensitivity, reduce frailty, and reshape the body in ways most women actually want. This is also one of the best osteoporosis interventions available because bone responds to load. When you challenge bone, it stays stronger. When you stop challenging it, it disappears. So lift 3-4 times a week consistently. And here's the secret. You don't need perfection. You need progression. Okay? A little more weight. A few more repetitions. This makes the difference. Week after week, month after month. That's how muscle grows. That's how bone stays strong. And don't forget cardiovascular fitness, zone 2 work, walking, cycling, swimming, whatever. Easy conversational pace. Build your aerobic engine. Strength preserves independence. Cardiovascular fitness helps determine how long you stay alive to enjoy it. You need both. But lead with strength. The 4th pillar, sleep and stress. This is the pillar most women underestimate. And the pillar most women are robbed of. Sleep. Sleep isn't recovery. Sleep is where recovery happens. This is where the body repairs tissue, balances appetite hormones, supports memory, regulates metabolism. The challenge is that menopause often disrupts sleep at the exact moment you need it most, which is why hormonal optimization often improves sleep dramatically. And after sleep makes everything else easier. Protein, training, weight management, mood, energy, everything. The same is true of stress. Chronic stress elevates cortisol. And elevated cortisol works against almost every goal women have. More abdominal fat, less muscle, worse insulin sensitivity, poorer sleep, lower energy. The stressed, exhausted woman is often fighting biology, not lacking discipline. That's why I consider sleep a stress management medical intervention. Not luxury, but protect your sleep. Get morning sunlight. Move your body daily. Create boundaries. Stay connected to people who matter. Those habits aren't soft. They're physiological. Now let's talk supplementation, because this is where most women spend too much money. The foundation supplements are surprisingly simple. Creatine, vitamin D, K2, magnesium glycinate, omega-3 fatty acids, protein powder when needed. That's the core. Creatine deserves special attention. For years, it was marked almost exclusively for young men. And The reality, women over 40 may benefit even more. Muscle, strength, recovery, and increasingly cognitive health. 5 grams daily is a solid foundation. Higher doses may have applications in specific circumstances. If you really want to go after cognition, you're looking at in the range of 20 grams or above 10, let's say. And no, healthy adults do not damage their kidneys by taking creatine. The evidence simply doesn't support that fear. Now let's talk about NMN and NR, the NAD supplements, right? The precise truth is this. They reliably increase NAD plus in the blood plasma. That is established. But whether they significantly increase NAD plus where it matters most inside the human cells remains uncertain. That's why I stay skeptical. If you buy them understanding that distinction. Interesting? Yes. Proven? Not yet. And everything else? Ask 3 questions. Is there human evidence? Does the label disclose the actual dose? And is that dose consistently with the research? If the answer is no, put it back on the shelf. Pillar 6, mindset. The final pillar holds everything together. Mindset. For years, women have been quietly told that life after 40 is about decline. Managing symptoms, accepting limitations, lowering expectations. I reject that completely because the science doesn't support it. What the science actually shows is that women can remain strong, capable, independent, energetic, and cognitively sharp for decades, but only if they build the structure to support it. And that's what these 6 pillars are. A structure, not a checklist, not 6 separate chores. One integrated system. Get your hormones right, sleep improves, training improves, muscle responds better to protein. Every pillar lifts the next. That's why the order matters. And if this feels overwhelming, don't start with all 6. Start with 1. Fix sleep. Add protein to breakfast. Book a hormone evaluation. Start walking. Pick one, then build. Because consistency beats intensity every time. Let me leave you with this. I built a story because too many intelligent, capable women have been told that this stage of life is about decline. It is not. That's a failure of messaging, not a fact of biology. The years ahead of you can be strong years, healthy years, energetic years. You have the blueprint, not perfection, a blueprint. And the women who age best are rarely the women chasing every trend. They're the women who consistently execute the fundamentals, month after month, year after year. So start with 1 pillar today and let that pillar earn the next. Thank you for joining me throughout this series. And if this series gave you clarity, confidence, or hope, subscribe and stay with us, because this is only the foundation. We have much more building together. I'll see you in the next episode. Subscribe, ring the bell notification, invite friends, leave comments.